Right now, should Madison police be banned from using tear gas on crowds? We take a look at the proposed ordinance and its chances with the city council.
Also, a captain in the La Crosse County Sheriff's Department denies endorsing Senate candidate Mandela Barnes after finding out his name was among the list of endorsers.
And later, public health officials are urging people to get their updated COVID boosters as the fall season approaches. You're watching News 3 now at 6. The question of whether Madison police should be able to use this tear gas on crowds as they did during the 2020 downtown protests is back up for debate.
It's come up many times, especially after a report found MPD should scale back its use. But the notion of banning it hasn't gotten past the city council. Naomi Coles joins us now. Naomi, does it even have a shot at council this week?
Charlie, it's really unlikely. In fact, the alder who brought this ordinance forward does not think it'll have a different outcome. Her goal instead is to keep the conversation going.
Drop more tear gas, let's go.
And so I can assure my community that it's a tool that will be used as an absolute last resort.
Barnes can say what he likes, that this is the last resort. However, MPD's standard operating procedures does not reflect that it's a last resort.
For a second time, Madison City Council will take up an ordinance that would ban tear gas and projectiles for crowd control. But it wouldn't apply when there's a threat of urgent, immediate harm. Madison Chief Sean Barnes says tear gas hasn't been used under his tenure, which started in February 2021, but banning it entirely presents new dangerous situations.
Do you want officers to go in hands-on with people who are holding fire? Do you want officers to have to use other results? I don't want that at all.
He doesn't believe that tear gas is a good tool.
I'm not a big fan of tear gas. I'm not a fan of tear gas at all. Just knowing some of the history of policing and how we have managed crowds in the past.
UW student elder Juliana Bennett says Barnes might have good intentions, but putting it in the city's ordinances controls future chiefs with different ideas.
He might be a good fellow, but he's not going to be here forever. And the Madison Police Department stance can always change depending on the police chief.
They might be on different sides of the issue, but both believe it shouldn't get to the place where tear gas is needed at all. Bennett goes a step farther and points to times when MPD found workarounds.
I've seen for the past 2 Mifflin Street block parties, situations where there was significant property damage, actual physical harm was threatened, and Madison Police Department was able to handle that without bringing out tear gas.
Nationwide, banning tear gas really has not taken hold at a lot of different departments. Worth noting, however, the Milwaukee Police Department banned crowd control munitions for use in the Democratic National Convention back in 2020. That, of course, went almost entirely virtual because of the pandemic. But that decision led 100 police agencies to back out from support agreements as a result.
Madison City officials say Freak Fest will not happen this Halloween. Officials released a statement saying the city has moved away from a formal event the past few years, and there will not be one again this year. The annual spooky celebration was canceled the last 2 years due to COVID-19. The announcement doesn't mean Madison won't be celebrating Halloween. The downtown Madison Family Halloween event will still be held on the 26th on State Street. There will be hay rides around Capitol Square, followed by a showing of Hocus Pocus. And let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canolti.
Well, skies are sunny here, but we are looking for the possibility for some rain later on tonight. Let's start out by taking a look at visible cloud track. You can see Wisconsin almost free of clouds, but out to the west, you can start to see some showers and thunderstorms develop over parts of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa and parts of northern Minnesota. You can see a little cluster of showers and storms from northwest of Waterloo, Iowa, up toward around Austin, Minnesota. These are moving eastward. The first batch will kind of fizzle out as it moves eastward. 6-hour future track radar shows perhaps a few showers making it into areas west of Madison before midnight, but the better chances for showers and thunderstorms will be after midnight. There also is a possibility for a strong to severe thunderstorm tomorrow, as another little round of showers and storms could pop up in the afternoon. Gusty winds and hail would be the main threats. Dew point temperatures are in the mid-50s in Madison, starting to climb a little bit to the north and west where the rain is starting to develop. Temperatures right now mid-60s in Madison, 81 still in Lone Rock, but 76 in Madison and across Dane County, 77 degrees in Oregon, 75 in Middleton. Look for sky Skies to be mostly clear this evening. Temperatures dropping off into the middle 60s. I think any rain that occurs will occur later on tonight, and most of it will be gone by morning. I'll have more in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Okay, Gary, thanks. Vice President Kamala Harris will be in Wisconsin this week. She is scheduled to speak at the Democratic Attorneys General Association Conference in Milwaukee on Thursday. The Vice President will also speak with young people and Latino leaders in the city. This is the third time Vice President Harris has visited Milwaukee since taking office.
A La Crosse sheriff's captain is scratching his head after he was falsely listed as endorsing Mandela Barnes for U.S. Senate.
And now the Barnes campaign is having to walk that endorsement back, as political reporter Will Keneally explains. Will?
That's right. So Captain John Siegel was surprised Friday when he saw his name among a group of law enforcement officials endorsing Mandela Barnes. Said he called the Barnes campaign right away to ask them to remove his name. The campaign eventually did. They added a correction to a different press release that went out over the weekend. Siegel says he's not sure what caused the confusion.
I had about a 5-minute conversation with one of their staffers several weeks ago. Wasn't in a position to do anything. I'm sure I was identified as a Democratic candidate for sheriff. And somewhere along the line, they made either a clerical error with names or transferring names over. I'm not exactly sure.
So for their part, the Barnes campaign says it was just that, a clerical error that caused the mix-up. They said the mistake is corrected on their website and pointed to the endorsements of other law enforcement officials. Siegel says he has no plans to endorse anyone in the U.S. Senate race and that he's just instead focused on his own race.
Will, thank you. A second person connected to the shooting death of 11-year-old Anisa Scott in Madison in 2020 has now been sentenced. Perion Carrion will spend 30 years total in prison. The 21-year-old was sentenced to 25 years for first-degree reckless homicide of Scott as party to a crime, 5 years for attempted first-degree homicide of Christopher Carthens. Carrion did express remorse, saying Anisa was not the intended target. Her family, 2 years later, remains in a deep state of grief.
There is no sense, no reason, and no justification to ever help me understand why her. I'm tired of being a grieving mom. I just want my baby and my normal life back.
I'm glad that justice is being served in, some way. But I know at the end of the day, the pain will never go away from her family. I just want you and the family to know I truly am deeply sorry.
Andre Brown was sentenced to 35 years in prison last week. Another man, Jerry Ward, is the only one not to plead guilty in the case. He will face trial in November.
The man accused of attacking an elderly man in the parking lot of a Madison Culver's last month has been charged. 58-year-old Samuel Turner is charged with physical abuse on an elderly person, intentionally causing bodily harm, and misdemeanor battery. Madison police arrested Turner last week. Security camera allegedly shows Turner pointing at the victim before attacking him. The man went to the hospital for medical attention following the alleged attack.
It has been 4 years since a shooting took place at a software company in Middleton that left one person dead and 4 injured. An emergency call came in around 10:30 in the morning from a Paradigm employee reporting shots fired in the company's Middleton building. Police arrived on scene within 3 minutes, eventually shooting the gunman. Police said the shooter was heavily armed with ammunition and magazines. The suspect was a Paradigm employee and ultimately died as a result of his injuries. With the changing seasons come changing COVID shots. Public Health in Dane County is urging you to get a booster shot if you haven't already.
And they're making it easier to do so. McKenna Alexander joins us to explain how this booster is different from the previous shot.
Yeah, PHMDC wants to make sure everyone who can and wants a booster has no trouble finding one, while making sure people understand why this new vaccine is different than the first booster. As we near the start of another COVID-era autumn, the FDA is taking steps to protect against the virus that's changed over the past year.
And as the virus has evolved, the original vaccine is not as protective against the currently circulating strains as it was against the original virus.
Earlier this month, the FDA authorized a COVID booster that's different than the one offered last winter. This new booster is bivalent, meaning it targets the original strain and the Omicron variants, in comparison to the first booster, which did not include protection against Omicron. The CDC estimates the Omicron variant makes up nearly 89% of all new cases, which is why officials stress now is the time to get this new booster ahead of the fall season.
With the combination of the evolution of variants, as well as the seasonal aspects, that as we get into this coming late fall and winter, it is likely that we will see another variant emerge.
We are looking at a possible fall wave with a peak around December 1st. And by giving the booster now, we will hopefully address this future potential wave that looms out there.
An extra layer this winter, that is a layer of protection against the Omicron variant, is already top of mind for Public Health Madison, Dane County. In response to increased booster demand, the department has been busy spreading the word about walk-in clinics, adding weekend availability, and extending clinic hours.
These targeted boosters give us our best chance at fighting that surge of cases that we saw last winter, and that's why we are trying to get as much availability for folks for appointments as they can get.
Here's a list of clinics this week. The first is at Warner Park this Wednesday and Saturday, and then another at Elver Park this Thursday and Friday. You can also get a booster shot at the South Madison PHMDC clinic on Mondays and Saturdays, and there are currently Saturday appointments available right now at that location. And finally, PHMDC's East Washington clinic is also open for boosters on Tuesdays. You can check out channel3000.com for the exact times the clinics are open. Now, as for who's eligible, both the updated Pfizer and Moderna boosters are available to anyone that received an initial vaccination or booster shot at least 2 months ago. However, Pfizer's eligibility is for people 12 and older, while Moderna's is for 18 and older.
McKenna, thank you. UW Health says less than half of Wisconsinites received a flu vaccine last year. Typically, between 50 and 55% of the state will get the vaccine from year to year. Everyone 6 months old and older is eligible for the flu vaccine. UW Health Medical Director Dr. Jim Conway says getting the shot protects more than just yourself. Preventing the spread of flu is also important to protect a healthcare system that is still strained by COVID-19. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, we check in for an update on the Coats for Kids campaign.
Plus, a brand of frozen meals being recalled, why those with milk allergies need to be alert. Stay with us.
Not all accidents happen on busy freeways. They happen in neighborhoods like yours. No matter where your accident happened, Gruber Law Offices is here to help. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Lean back and save at the Century House. Right now, buy stressless recliners, sofas, or office chairs and get up to $1,500 credit towards the purchase of more. Or save $400 on stressless signature-based recliners and ottomans and motorized classic power recliners. Don't wait. Take the opportunity to fill your home with stressless comfort for less. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Looking for one of our most capable Ford SUVs? Okay, great. We've got you covered. Spacious interiors, innovative tech, good looks, and a legendary off-road experience. Check out our inventory today, or let us help you place a custom order. Getting into the perfect Ford SUV? Well, it's easier than ever. Yeah, we've got you covered. Now choose FlexBuy on a 2022 Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer and get 0% financing for 66 months.
By some measures, our economy is doing great. We've reached the lowest unemployment in state history. We have a record budget surplus. But there's another side, too. Rising prices for groceries, gas, and medications. Folks, that's a problem. That's why I have a plan to cap prescription drug prices, aggressively prosecute price gouging, and cut taxes by another 10% for working families. It's the right thing to do for Wisconsin and our economy.
We all share the same roads, but when an accident happens, we don't always share the same consequences. Gruber Law Offices has been fighting and winning for people injured by big trucks for more than 30 years. One call, that's all.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
And welcome back. The Coats for Kids campaign is still going strong. Here is the latest total, 1,543. And remember, you can drop off a new or gently used coat at any area Clinky Cleaners location now through October 8th. You can also buy one from the Community Action Coalition's Amazon wish list to find a selection of coats. We have a link to that list at channel3000.com/coats for kids.
Well, check your freezer. A frozen meal by Healthy Choice was just recalled, and it's especially important for anyone allergic to milk. The recalled product is the Korean-style Beef Power Bowl. A Texas-based frozen food storage and repackaging facility said the labels don't have a warning that the meals contain milk. There haven't been reports of anyone getting sick so far. You can find details on the recall on the USDA's website. Still ahead, a science teacher helps a great horned owl get out of a great big mess.
The risky rescue caught on camera and what one wildlife expert says you should do if you come across an animal in need. Plus, how does the weather look for the rest of the work week? Gary's back with a complete look at your forecast.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
Golden Cars is having a big end of summer sale with 2020 Chevy Malibu starting at $21,995 or $349 per month.
Don't miss out on all end of summer sales. The best selection of 2020 Chevy Malibu starting at $21,995 or $349 per month.
Golden Cars has been family owned and operated for over 50 years, so just come on in and ask for my brother Dealing Donovan.
Or my sister Crystal the Pistol Gobin.
Go to Golden Cars East or West.
You gotta go to Gobin, GobinCars.com.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Fry Construction wants to thank you for once again voting us Best of Madison 3 years running with 27% off gutters or insulation. Your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best of Madison 3 years in a row. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Save 27% off gutters or insulation with any full roof replacement project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
There's no other place where my story is possible. My mom was a teacher. My dad worked third shift. It was our ticket to the middle class. That's the promise of America I'll fight to protect. While others send our jobs overseas, I'll bring manufacturing back, invest in our own workers, and stock our shelves with American products. And with a middle class tax cut, you'll be able to keep more of what you earn. I know the promise of America, and no one will fight harder to protect it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe these guys will buy our house.
What could go wrong?
Like rookie home buyers who can lower or cancel offers without notice. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
Welcome back. A Wisconsin middle school teacher is known around her school for helping animals in need.
So when she heard an owl was caught in the school's soccer net, she sprang right into action. Jenna Wells has the story.
A great horned owl in distress on a school soccer field. Science teacher Abby Ward went into fight or flight mode, literally grabbing scissors and her heavy-duty chemistry gloves.
By the time we got out there, it was really caught up.
A local wildlife expert wasn't surprised. She often hears of owls getting stuck in sports netting.
Owls are nighttime hunters. They don't necessarily have the best eyesight to see those really thin nets.
Ward patiently untangled the owl, cutting through the net as the big bird stayed notably still.
He laid there and those huge yellow eyes just stared at me the entire time I was trying to get those last few pieces off. I'll never forget that feeling of thinking, he is looking right through me right now. It's almost like he knew I was getting ready to let him go.
It was a risky rescue. Great horned owls are born to hunt. Their sharp beaks and talons can be incredibly dangerous.
If you take your hand and if you squeeze it, an owl of this size can actually kind of grab about 6 times stronger than you can.
I would not have touched it without those gloves that I knew it was not going to be able to bite or claw through.
And after just a few minutes of struggle,
just took off, and it was just the greatest. Everybody was clapping and cheering.
Students watched the owl land on a nearby tree and fly off safely into the woods.
Bravo to this teacher. Absolutely phenomenal, brave, and also exactly what, people want to see done to help out with wildlife.
A successful ending and a good learning lesson about how to help keep owls safe.
The best thing to do to kind of avoid the whole situation is to take the net down when you're done using the field.
If you're inexperienced with wildlife rescue and come across an animal in need, Obermeyer says you should keep your distance and call a licensed wildlife rehabilitator to help out. Let's check back in with Gary Canalti. Complete look at the forecast. Gary?
Well, after a sunny and nice day today, 3 things you need to know in the forecast. We could see a round of showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight, and just a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm during the day tomorrow and again on Wednesday as cooler air moves in. Tomorrow will be warm. High temperatures will be in the middle 80s with higher humidity as well. It'll feel like summer, but cool fall-like weather arrives Wednesday and Thursday and Friday with high temperatures by Thursday and Friday right around 60, and of course fall starts on Thursday, so good timing there. A few scattered showers and thunderstorms, southern Minnesota and northern Iowa continuing to move eastward, but future track radar over the next 6 hours shows those showers and storms falling apart a little bit as they move into far western Wisconsin. It's possible there could be a stray shower or thunderstorm. Our better chances for rain will actually come from storms that are up north of Minnesota and then starting to develop into the Twin Cities areas by about midnight. Those will move mainly north and east of Madison overnight and into the early part of the day on Tuesday. Now tonight, any of those storms that move out of Minnesota could become strong to severe, producing perhaps some gusty winds or hail in the strongest storms. Most areas will probably miss out on any severe weather threat. And tomorrow there's a marginal or level 1 risk from the Storm Prediction Center over much of southern and eastern Wisconsin. Again, hail and high winds would be the main threat, but this could be a situation where a couple of people get a strong to severe thunderstorm and the majority of us miss out on the rain altogether. Puerto Rico is glad to see the rain moving away from them. This is Hurricane Fiona. Top winds right now 100 miles per hour, gusts to 120 miles per hour. Forecast from the National Hurricane Center continues to strengthen it into a Category 3 hurricane and maybe briefly into a Category 4 hurricane as it starts to head northeastward toward Bermuda. But then it races off to the northeast and into the Canadian Maritimes, and the fast movement of the storm and coupling up with another storm system could keep it at a Category 1 strength, about 90 mile per hour sustained winds as it moves into Newfoundland. And as that circulation draws in colder air, the rain on the northern part of that storm will start to change over to snow. Temperatures right now far too cold for snow across the United States. Mid-70s here, but temperatures still in the mid to upper 90s over the western high plains. We'll get a taste of that heat for tomorrow and a little more humidity, but as we look for planning your night tonight, 62 for the low in Fitchburg, 62 in Belleville. Again, a shower or thunderstorm chance, especially later on tonight. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, southwestern Wisconsin may stay dry. 64 in Platteville, 65 in Lone Rock, and 60 for the overnight low temperature in Baraboo. For tomorrow, once the rain moves out early, look for a partly sunny, warmer, and more humid day with a high of 84. Just a slight chance for a shower or thunderstorm. Planning your day starting at midnight tonight. Notice the shower and thunderstorm chances starting to arrive north of the Dells by 4 a.m. They move to the south and east, but by 8 a.m. are already heading toward Milwaukee and away from the Madison metro area. We should be dry midday. That's noon with temperatures in the mid-70s. And then watch how a couple of showers and thunderstorms may pop up mid to late afternoon with highs in the mid-80s as the humidity levels stay high. Areas that get a shower or storm could see a half-inch to an inch or more of rain. Other areas, especially over southwestern Wisconsin, probably missing out on the rain altogether. 7 to 10 day forecast. We turn cooler for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Shower chance Friday afternoon, and then Saturday should be dry. Shower thunderstorm chance Sunday. Much of next week will be dry with temperatures near or slightly below normal.
Gary, thank you. Coming up in sports, Wisconsin hits the road to Columbus for their Big Ten opener against the Buckeyes, where the Badgers say they're all right being an underdog this Saturday. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's Terrific Tuesdays at Hy-Vee. This Tuesday, fresh ground chuck, only $1.99 a pound. And Dole iceberg lettuce, only 69 cents each. Tuesday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
This is the house that angels built. Attic Angels Senior Living Community is built on a foundation of authentic, local care. A framework for living well. Windows to take in the beautiful future. And it's crowned by the pride that one's home is one's castle. This is the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living. Built with the help of angels.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers. And the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund. Reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Clean, safe, fun. I wanted it all when we needed daytime care for Mom. Oh, Grace's new adult day center is so nice. Now she goes twice a week while I'm at work and loves it.
A Grace, caring every step of the way.
Joe Biden on Medicare for All.
It's going to raise taxes on middle-class people.
Medicare for All would double your income taxes, ban employer-provided and union health plans, and bankrupt Medicare for seniors. Mandela Barnes still supports Bernie Sanders' socialist takeover of your health care.
Medicare for All is the easiest way to get us to universal health care.
Mandela Barnes, more liberal than Joe Biden, way too liberal for Wisconsin.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
It's Terrific Tuesdays at Hy-Vee. This Tuesday, Doritos, only $1.48, and Hy-Vee macaroni and cheese, only 19 cents, while supplies last. Tuesday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
A local hospital tries something new to help staff members struggling with trauma.
Tomorrow, Josh Bryder is in the 608 to see how nature is helping to heal the healers.
And we are counting down to fall and when temperatures will feel like it. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
Wisconsin closed out its non-conference schedule with an easy win over New Mexico State, but now it's about to get a lot tougher. Big Ten play begins Saturday, and as Zach Hanley explains, the Badgers have a big-time opportunity against the third-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes.
The non-conference is over. It's time for Big Ten football.
My emphasis and the team's emphasis is always that the next game's the biggest one.
But conference play doesn't mean a change in approach for the Badgers this week.
Every time you prepare for an opponent, it's really about you. And everyone has that mindset right now, and I think that's what we need.
You know, it doesn't matter who you're facing, because if guys play with, you know, the right attitude, the right consistency, you know, the right technique, like, you know, we can win any game.
Now, even though the preparation doesn't change going into league play, the magnitude of the games do, especially this week. It's Ohio State, a team Wisconsin hasn't beaten in over a decade. And you don't have to remind the Badgers just how big Saturday will be.
It's obviously a bigger game. I'm not scared to say that. I think this is probably the biggest game of my career so far. So I'm looking forward to it.
And we are looking at it as a big game. We know what it is. We're not going to ignore that. And I mean, really, you know, if that's the underdog, you don't have much to lose. You know, we go into this game with everything to gain. So I think that's how we're approaching it.
As the Badgers look for their first win in Columbus since 2004. At the McLean Center, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
And that will be a big one. Let's go to Gary. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, some scattered showers and thunderstorms across parts of southern Minnesota and northern Iowa. Those are heading to the east-southeast. We'll have to see how well they hold together. But right now, 6-hour future track radar shows maybe just a couple of showers making it into southwestern Wisconsin. We'll see better chances for rain overnight.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.